Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Tanisha and I love taking you along on my reading journey. And in today's video I'm going to do a 12-hour readathon. As you saw in the previous clips, I already started the timer at 9:30 and I'm going to see how much or little I can read until 9:30 p.m. I'm going to take as many breaks as I want for eating, drinking, whatever, but the timer will not pause. So it's currently 11 a.m. So the readathon has been going on for an hour and a half and I've been reading The Examiner by Janice Hallett. This is a murder mystery book written in emails and text messages, diary notes, stuff like that, which I'm obsessed with. This is about an art course at a university and there are 6 students that are supposed to work together on this big installation for a client. And there's one course leader who is supposed to grade everything that they submit. They have 6 little assignments and then this big assignment that they have to submit. And the course leader doesn't want to grade their work anymore because she believes that one of the students has been killed during the course and that the other students are covering their murder up. So she sends everything that she has to an external examiner. So she's sending their submissions, but also every single message that they send to each other to this external examiner. And this examiner is supposed to grade the work, but also figure out if indeed someone was killed. And this book is basically everything that the course leader has sent to the external examiner. So you read about what they submit, but you also read every single message that they send to each other and you read their diary entries. So I'm so invested in this story. At the beginning, it was a little bit hard to keep track of all the names because when I'm reading text messages, I tend to not read the names of the people, which isn't smart if you don't know the characters yet. So I had to go back a couple of times to actually see who said what. But I'm having so much fun. I'm so invested in the story. I am 300 pages in right now, so I'm quite far into the story, but this book has 500 pages. So I still have a little bit to go and I still don't know who was murdered. I'm just trying to figure it out as I read along. But it is so hard because every single student right now is accounted for in terms of the online presence. So they are all sending messages to each other, they're all emailing, they're all sending in their submissions. But one of them is supposed to be dead. So one of the students that is texting is a fake. Like someone else is sending their messages, but I just can't figure out who it is, which is so much fun because I like reading thrillers and mysteries where it is actually hard to figure out who did it, and this one has been hard so far. So I'm having so much fun and I'm just going to keep reading. I'm obviously going to finish it during this readathon, so we're going to read more books, but I think it is fun to start with a thriller mystery. And since I already was 230-ish pages into the book when I started this morning, it also means that I will finish this book pretty quickly, which gives me motivation to continue because I know that I should be reading shorter books today because I might be discouraged if it takes me a very long time to finish books. But yeah, we'll see how this day goes. I'm going to try and update you like every 1 or 2 hours or when I have very big things to say about my books. So grab a drink and watch me read for 12 hours. It's a little over 12:30 right now, if it focus, and we have a little under 9 hours left to the challenge, and I'm still having a lot of fun. I did take a lunch break though, so I did eat some food, so I have not been reading for 3 hours non-stop, obviously, because I started the challenge at 9:30 and then I read for about an hour. Then I got ready, filmed the intro, read some more, ate lunch, and now we're here 3 hours into the readathon. But I'm having so much fun. Reading almost feels very different when you know that you're going to do it all day. So basically everything that is on my mind is reading and keeping myself alive by hydrating and food. But yeah, I'm having so much fun. I'm still reading The Examiner. I'm currently at page 386. So I have been making some progress, but I still have a little bit to go. This is how much I still have to go, because this book has 500 pages. I'm now in a part of the story where a lot of information is just getting thrown at me, and I'm just here for the ride. I am still not sure what is going on, but I've just accepted the fact that I'm not going to guess who was murdered and who did it, because every time I think I'm right, some new information comes out that makes my guess impossible. But I cannot deny that I have been thinking about what book I'm going to read next, because obviously with a readathon means that I'm probably going to read more books. I don't know how many books I'm going to be able to read. Like, my guess is that I'm going to finish this book and then read an entire new book and maybe start a third book. But I don't think I'm going to be able to finish 3 books, including this one. I bought a bunch of books yesterday and the day before. I have a short on my channel where I did a little book haul. I might edit it in on the screen if I can remember, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick one of those books for the next book. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading, and I will probably talk to you when I finished this book. I just have a little under 8 hours left, and I finished the first book and I gave it 5 stars. This was so much fun. I was invested from the beginning to the very end. I didn't expect any of the twists and turns that were thrown at me, and it was just an amazing reading experience. I have 0 notes, so there was no other rate than 5 stars that could be given to this book. With that being said, it is time to pick the second book, since I still have 8 hours left of reading. My first thought was to pick up another Janice Hallett, because I still have another one on my physical TBR that I bought yesterday. But I think I should take some time between this book and the next Janice Hallett book, just so I can refresh my mind, because the next book is the same concept where there is some sort of mystery told in emails and transcripts and stuff like that. And I don't want the next book to be compared too much to this book, especially when the writing is so similar. So I have 2 other books on my mind. I have this amazing gold version of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Like, how pretty is this? So I was thinking of maybe picking up this book. This is about a writer who steals someone else's manuscript, which sounds very interesting to read. But I also have a fun summary book called The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. I don't know what this book is about. All I know is that Sarah Caroli, one of my favorite booktubers, loves Ellen Hildebrand, and I've seen Sarah talk about this book before, so that's why I picked it up. And also the cover just gives me summer vibes, and that's all I need. It is the end of May. I just want summer to start. It is so gloomy outside, so maybe a summery read is the way to go. But I'm not sure yet, because Yellowface also sounds so interesting. What to do? I think I'm going to make myself a tea and try to decide while the water is boiling. Yeah, I'm going to make myself a tea and you will see what I will pick. It's 3:08 p.m. and I have 6.5-ish hours left into the challenge. And I'm currently 60 pages into Yellowface. This is the book that I decided to pick up. This book is about Juniper Hayward, who is a failed writer. And she sees her rival author, Athena, die in a freak accident. And she decides to steal her just finished manuscript to basically turn her career upside down into a successful career. The first 60 pages really talks a lot about what happened to Athena and also how the writing and publishing process works, which is very interesting to me. I have always been someone who has been dreaming about becoming an author, and reading about the experiences Juniper has and also how everything works is so interesting to me. The writing is very different than the last book I read, and I've also never read an R.F. Kuang book before, so I had to get used to it at the beginning, which made me read way slower than I normally do. I read for about an hour and a half-ish, and I'm only 60 pages in, so I'm not reading this book as fast as I normally read, but I also don't really care about that because I'm enjoying myself. I'm really enjoying everything right now. The main character is not very likable, but that doesn't bother me at all. I've seen a lot of mixed signals about this book. Some people really hate the book because of the unlikable female main character, but even though she is unlikable, I still can see her good-ish parts. I think how she's going to deal with her decisions going forward might make me change my mind about her being a good person or not, but so far I'm not bothered by her at all. Like, obviously her decisions are questionable, but it's not making me dislike the book at all. Like, I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm going to stop yapping because I actually want to get back into the book. And let's talk maybe when I'm 50-ish% into the book. So far, this readathon has been a blast. It's 5:20 p.m. right now, which means I have 4 hours and 10 minutes left of this readathon, and I'm currently at page 177 of Yellowface, which is a little over halfway through, and I'm enjoying this book so much. The author of this book is doing an amazing job at writing an unlikable character without making the story insufferable to read. Like, I'm having so much fun even though the character is not someone I would want to hang out with, but I'm so invested in the story. This book also shines a very interesting light on the drama that can happen in BookTok and author worlds. There are a bunch of things that I saw on BookTube or BookTok where authors are being cancelled because of whatever, and this book talks about a bunch of those situations and also what happens behind the scenes and how it feels for the author to receive those comments. Just the setting that this book is talking about is so interesting to me. The whole author world and publication world and the drama, and also the talks about wanting more diversity but also being very sensitive about who is allowed to talk about certain stories or who is allowed to tell certain stories. It's just so good, and I also really enjoy R.F. Kuang's writing. I had to get used to it at the beginning, but now I'm fully invested in the story. I have also been listening to the audiobook while I was doing my dishes and also updating my book journal for the examiner, and I see that I only have a little under 2 hours left, so I think I'm just going to enjoy those 2 hours and talk to you when I finish the book. It's 7:24 right now, which means I have only 2 hours and 7 minutes left, and I'm still going strong. I just finished Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and I honestly don't even feel tired. I'm still in a very big reading mood. I was expecting myself to get a little bit of a reading slump during the day because I'm not used to reading so much in a day. I started reading at 9:30 a.m. It is now 7:25 p.m. So I have been reading for almost 10 hours. There has been a lot of reading during this readathon, but I'm still having so much fun and I'm excited to also continue reading the next 2 hours. But like I said, I finished Yellowface. I really enjoyed the book. The plot was very interesting. I really enjoyed reading about the character even though she was not likable at all. Once I was used to the writing style, it was just a blast. The only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars is because the ending felt a little bit dragged out. Once the, I would say, 85% mark hit, I was like, okay, just let's wrap it up. The story is ended. But then it was just going on and on and on and on and on. And that's when it lost 1 star. For the longest time, I thought this was going to be a 5-star book, just because I was having so much fun and the writing style was also very entertaining. But the dragged out ending made me drop it 1 star. I had fun nonetheless. So that was the second book of this video. And I still have, like I said, 2 hours left of reading. So I have to pick up another book. I'm not 100% sure yet what book I'm going to read. I think I want to read a thriller because those are pretty quickly, so I can finish it tonight after this video's ended or tomorrow morning. So I was thinking maybe an Alice Feeney thriller or maybe Frida McFadden or someone else. I'm going to look on my Goodreads for a bit and I'm going to read for the last 2 hours. And then we'll see each other at the end of this video. And just like that, 12 hours have passed. The readathon is over. I can't deny I am a bit tired, but I don't feel drained. So I think 12 hours is just the right amount of time to do a readathon for me. I don't think I would be able to do 24 hours, but 12 hours is challenging, but not undoable for me. So for the last 2 hours, I ended up picking The Couple at Number 9, which is a thriller by Claire Douglas. This is about a couple who moves into a cottage that is from the girl's family, and this is basically their dream. They have always been wanting to live in nature, and their dream is coming true, but it is also being shattered because while doing renovations, they find bodies in their backyard. So kind of creepy, but also fun for me to read about because I was invested from page 1. I am currently at page 108, so that's how far I got into the book, but I'm not going to speak about it much because I'm obviously not going to finish the book in this video because this is the end of the video. I had so much fun during this readathon. This was just the perfect day for me. I enjoy reading so much, and the fact that I could read all day for this video was a treat for myself. So if you have ever wondered if you should do a readathon, this is your sign to do it. Even if you only have 6 hours, just do a 6-hour readathon because it is so much fun. And I actually got to read a bunch of books. So let's talk about how much I read. I obviously started the video with the Examiner. I was already at page 239 when I started this video, and I read the book until the end. The book had 500 pages, which meant that I have read 262 pages in the Examiner. Then we went to Yellowface, which had 312 pages, and I ended my readathon with The Couple at Number 9, and I got until page 108. So in total I read 682 pages, which is basically 56 pages per hour, which sounds very reasonable considering I also took breaks. So those are the stats from my readathon. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if you want me to do this more often, and I will see you in my next video whenever I post it. Bye!